good ball into space here. Really good touch.
Fed across, diving save, it's loose, and it's in! DeRamo follows up, and she gives South Fayette an early lead.
Sean, we knew we'd be calling her name a lot tonight as we see a good ball into space and a great ball sent over with the left foot. Defender unable to get a touch on it. You see the tap through. She picks her head up. She hits it near.
Ball is loose, and it is pushed in. Ferrari gets the goal. She scores. DeRamo gets her second. It is 4-0. Two teams that captured WPIAL championships last year will do battle in a Class 3A heavyweight matchup here today from Highmark Stadium as the top-seeded Fox Chapel area Foxes do battle with the second-seeded South Fayette Lions. I'm Sean Myers, joined by Mike Powers here on the NFHS Network. Our producer, Dan Flickinger, for this marquee matchup in 3A. But the Foxes a year ago, Mike, reigned supreme in Class 4A, whereas South Fayette is the reigning Class 3A champion, so something's got to give on what should be an outstanding battle.
Yeah, it should be really fun, Sean. It's a match I've wanted to see for a while now, and the fact that we got the two champions going at it, we have a really high-scoring team from Fox Chapel that scored 18 in the playoffs. Have only given up one against a South Fayette team who they've been perfect in net in the postseason. So looking forward to a really fun, fast, technical matchup.
South Fayette won its first ever girls soccer championship last season. The Foxes won for the first time in nearly 40 years, since 1985, but one of these teams today will go back-to-back. As South Fayette, clad in the white, gets the first touch. These teams did meet in the regular season, although it was a non-section and kind of an approach for both teams where they didn't necessarily play all of their star players the entirety. It was late in the season. They were both postseason bound and maybe had an idea that they would be meeting down the road, and that's come to fruition here today in the 7th of 8 championship matchups in this 3-day extravaganza here in Station Square.
I think there's definitely a mutual agreement there, Sean, to your point, where you don't want to show the other team too much and you kind of wait knowing that there's a good chance you're going to meet up again in the championship, which we're seeing now.
That is sent across and now played back by the Foxes to the far side of the pitch.
It's a nice little overlap run there as well.
Carlo Perotti, the third-year head coach for Fox Chapel. Nick Rosser in his 4th season guiding the Lions. As one of the Foxes taken down, so it'll be Fox Chapel possession. 2 40-minute halves here in the high school ranks. Fox Chapel boys claimed gold yesterday. That came with a 1-0 win against the Plum Mustangs. This is sent back to Bella Urso, moves it to the near side. And well defended by South Fayette as they denied Linswine from getting any room. That pass intercepted by Urso again. Now collision that allows Urso to gain possession. Dispossessed, however. Lions trying to get out of their own real estate. And they'll try working it up the near line to Emily Sitton, who has 19 goals and 14 assists. She has been prolific this year.
Linswayne, the younger sister of the first-year Riverhounds player, Pablo Linswayne, who chose to go pro this year instead of finishing out the senior season with the Fox Chapel Foxes that won last night.
Urso will throw it in again. Fox Chapel 18-2-1 this season. They went a perfect 10-0-0 in Section 1 of 3A. South Fayette had the same mark out of Section 3, and the Lions are 18-3-0 overall. Good play at the midfield by Fox Chapel's Taylor Wilkinson, sophomore. A lot of underclassmen have already shown terrific production at these programs. A touch just a little bit behind Quinn Miller, and now she'll play it back as they regather. Pass across the pitch, easily intercepted. Fox is trying to spring it ahead to Emily McKee. They're going to be looking for her quite a bit. She has 33 goals, an all WPIAL performer. Fox Chapel has scored 96 times this season. South Fayette even better, 106 for the Lions. As a big collision, and the foul will go against the Foxes as Spalla was taken down. Quickly bounces right back up, however.
We take another look here. The ball just bounces up in the air. They both go for the header, and a little bit too much on the challenge.
Throw in for Fox Chapel. Kind of a feeling out process, even though these teams did meet. As we mentioned not that long ago, October the 16th, it was a 2-1 victory for South Fayette. And that'll go out.
Good defending there to shield that ball out and just let it go for a throw-in.
That one pinballs right in front of the South Fayette bench. Running into that is Patel, the Penn State Barron commit, but her pass doesn't connect. Penn State Barron for Patel, one of 3 college-bound players on the South Fayette side of things.
Keep the pressure!
That ball's sent in long, and looking around is Wardshaw. She was making sure that it was going to go out, that her keeper was staying put. And so it yields a goal kick for Caitlin Thompson. She's another one of those players that will continue at the collegiate level. She's just a junior, but has already pledged to Miami of Ohio. She has authored a dozen shutouts this season. Also has picked up an assist. Turning pass, but a dangerous one. That allows the Foxes to jump it. And that camera's back at the midfield.
Another good tackle there by Fox Chapel to step up and win that ball.
Spalla feeds it in. To the far side. Feathered into Sinton. Foxes take it away from her, and Sinton's called for a foul.
And Sean, these 2 championship coaches, they've played here before. They know that you have to make this field wider. And right now, it seems as though Fox Chapel is doing a better job right now defending, but it seems as though South Fayette is doing a better job staying wide when they attack.
That one not cleared cleanly. See if the Foxes can take advantage. Fed forward, trying to spring McKee, but she is well defended. Mentioned McKee with 33 goals. It is Beinecke, Gabby Beinecke, with a team leading 26 goals on the South Fayette side of things. Early substitution as Reagan McLaughlin checks in for the number 2 seed Lions. Number 1 versus number 2. Probably not a surprise that these teams are here. They're showing that last year certainly was no fluke. Although both of these teams had an incredibly difficult path last year and kind of surprising a lot of people. Mike, what Fox Chapel did last year was incredible. They defeated Peters, the number 3 seed, Upper St. Clair, the number 2 seed, and then capped it off by knocking off top-seeded North Allegheny in overtime to win the Class 4A title.
Yeah, it was one of the best finals that we got a chance to see last year, Sean. And as you said, what a path for them in 4A, and now to be down in 3A playing against the other champions. But both of these teams, you can tell they're just very well coached, and they're trying to feel each other out right now.
And it certainly was not easy for the Lions last year either, as Quinn Miller, the junior, trying to create. They had to go through the 12th seed Penn Trafford, number 4 TJ. Then they won against number 1 Mars. What an incredible program the Fighting Planets have had. They defeated them in a shootout before winning in double overtime against Moon in the championship. The Tigers were the number 3 seed. So they defeated 12, 4, 1, and 3 on their way to a championship. So both teams have had much easier paths in terms of the seeding this year.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of having those great regular seasons, earning the 1 and 2 seeds respectively.
And last year we got to see the South Fayette boys win as the underdogs too, so it was a big moment for both of those programs.
That cross is broken up and now cleared out, courtesy of Duramo, a Youngstown State commit who paces the Lions with 16 assists. A nice move. Ball sent in. Grimsley able to keep it in, and now she surveys the scene. Her pass intercepted. Maddie Grimsley, one of the many all-section performers for the Foxes, as South Fayette blasts this to the mid. And now the Foxes will play it back and build up. DePasquale, a little give and go for Fox Chapel. And that will go out.
Yeah, it was like sliding down under.
The Fox Chapel School District formed in the early 60s. We mentioned it took them until 1985 to win their first soccer title, and then last year was their second. So there was a long time in between championships for Fox Chapel. Although it has been a program, more years than not, Mike, has been very formidable. As there's a play in the box, and the official right there says it was a legal play as McKee went down, but no whistle, and so a goal kick for Caitlin Thompson.
It was strong defending there, Sean. We saw the first touch with the defender right on her shoulder, and just a good job kind of keeping her away from goal.
Double team by the Foxes, but it still will stay with South Fayette for a throw-in. Quick shot attempt by Duramo denied. Tried another one there. This one chipped in wide off of the foot of freshman Harper Zapp. So Zapp's the freshman in the lineup, but she's certainly not the only one. She's not the most notable one. Gabby Beinecke has 26 goals as a 9th grader to pace South Fayette.
Yeah, and Nick Rosser said to watch for her tonight. He said we're going to be calling her name a lot, so it shows the confidence he has in his young striker.
Unbelievably, the third game of the day is on schedule. That rarely happens in these championships, especially in soccer, but I know football, that's a rare occurrence as well when they have the 4 games down at Acrisure.
It's a good ball into space here. Really good touch.
Fed across, diving save, it's loose, and it's in! Duramo follows up, and she gives South Fayette an early lead.
Sean, that's why you crashed the net. We take a look here. It was a really good ball, a great touch into space, and then as the defender's closing in, she has the awareness to slot that ball across. It's a good initial save, can't hold on to it, and then she just crashes the net, and even with the deflection, still has enough power to put it in. But that's a big goal if you're South Fayette, and you just push through a very tough Fox Chapel defense.
Goal number 15 this season for the future Penguin. And South Fayette strikes less than a dozen minutes into this one.
The South Fayette goal is scored by number 17.
We'll see if the Foxes have a response. team that probably hasn't trailed very often this season. That could be said for both of these squads with how dominant they have been. That is the second goal conceded by Fox Chapel in the postseason. They allowed one against Montour, but really inconsequential because that was a 7-1 final. So the first shot that makes it on frame makes it to the back of the net.
Yeah, and South Fayette right now are telling their defenders step, step. They don't want to stay back and keep Fox Chapel on sides. They want to push up and try to get them offsides.
Now the Lions having a hard time getting it out. Strong play defensively by Miller. Fox has played to the near side. Sent in deep, but a little too strong by Maddie Grimsley.
One of the things we mentioned, Sean, the turf it's a lot shorter here than in a lot of places. So the ball tends to skip and it goes a lot faster. So some of the players in the first half have to kind of feel this turf out and start figuring out the pace of their passes.
Beinecke getting the assist on the DeRamo marker. That is her 15th helper of the season. So she's not just a finisher. Headed before Grimsley could get to it. And the foul called against the Fox Chapel senior. Fox Chapel not only won the championship in Class 4A last year, they won a postseason game in the state playoffs. They defeated Hempfield 3-0, but not the Hempfield that's near us, the one on the other side of the state, Landisville Hempfield. They ultimately fell against Conestoga in the quarterfinals. South Fayette fell in the opening round of the state tournament after their championship. They went against a WPIAL foe in Montour, and the Spartans got the better of them.
And Conestoga is just a perennial powerhouse. We saw the boys program win states last year, and there's some big teams that you face from out east, but I think the WPIAL teams are getting stronger and stronger each year, and I think we're going to start seeing more state champions coming from this direction.
Free kick from near the midfield comes in the box, and it goes just high, and then a collision with the keeper.
Sean, from this angle, it almost looked like she kneed that ball on the bounce. We'll take a look here, but we see the service in. There's a good ball over top. It gets a bounce right into the box. And as the goalkeeper's coming out, she gets the volley and just goes just a little bit over the frame there.
And after Quackenbush missed the shot, she tried to help up Thompson, and it looked like Thompson maybe didn't want anything to do with that at that point.
You can tell that Thompson's in the zone. Just from the warm-ups, you could tell that she was very focused on what the task was at hand.
Hopefully he didn't try to pepper her with any last-second questions while she was.
I'm usually pretty good at reading who wants to talk to us and who doesn't.
Cleared out by Binion. Wilkinson. That one could not be settled down. Foxes will have the throw-in.
And Sean, both of these head coaches couldn't have been nicer. They sent us all the information before the game. They talked to us before the game. You can tell they're both just enjoying it. Now that they've won, they're just kind of taking in the moment and excited to be back.
It's going to be a good opportunity here for Fox Chapel.
Yeah. So now South Fayette is going to hold a very high line at the top of their box. So it looks like the call might have been obstruction, but they're going to have to figure out, do you put this on frame or do you want to try to chip this towards the back post? But this could definitely be shooting range.
It'll either be Kaylee Wilkinson or Paige Solomon.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to tap it for the shot here.
And it's actually a ball in, but on the back doorstep, they're trying to connect with Emily McKee. She could not get a foot on it.
It was a really good ball in. We see that beside the wall there was just a small lane that she fed that ball through. And right now, South Fayette very lucky that two of these balls that have been served in didn't end up as goals.
Lions have not conceded a goal during the postseason run, but certainly feel like that could change here today. Fox Chapel, a potent attack, and they've already threatened a few times as we're getting close to the halfway point of the opening stanza here on the NFHS Network. Chris Smith and Ricky Pitzer are cameramen for this one. So a foul this time goes against the Foxes. One of these teams will go back-to-back for Fox Chapel. If the Foxes win, it'll be in two different classifications. It'll be a true repeat if South Fayette's able to prevail. Love seeing our video feed up on the screen here at Highmark Stadium.
We were mentioning, Sean, the crowd loves seeing those replays sometimes when they think there was a foul, and we said the referees definitely don't enjoy it as much.
It was not easy to find a parking spot when I arrived here today. Get that kind of midday because you'll have fans from the preceding game that South Park won against Avonworth. And then, of course, these fans were already tailgating, ready to go. And maybe, just maybe, you might even have a few diehard fans for the nightcap that might be down here, getting an early start on things. That'll be the boys 3A, Franklin Regional, and Moon.
And that's going to be a very high-powered game. That should be really fun to watch, Sean.
We crowned 2 champions Thursday, 2 more yesterday. So far today, champions number 5 and 6. It looked like that was going to be an opportunity for Beinecke, but ultimately she just didn't take the right angle on it. And Fox Chapel did a good job in recovery. Free kick for the Foxes. Solomon, she'll play it back. And that one nearly turned over. Foxes fortunate they didn't get called for a foul there, to the dismay of Quinn Miller. She throws her arms up saying, how is that not a whistle, as she comes sprinting back into play. One thing I do like, as that is a foul, and it goes against Riley Binion. One thing I like there from Miller, Mike, is that obviously she wanted the foul, but she didn't kind of just lay down there. Once she realized it wasn't going to be called, there's no benefit to staying down on the turf here. You want to get up and get back in the play, and she did just that.
Yep. Here we have a chance again to serve that ball back post to see if somebody can get in. But, yeah, it was a great effort by her, Sean, to fight back and keep the run going defensively.
Net header by Beinecke. And it'll be a corner.
Yeah, good defending, but they're going to earn the corner here, little South Fayette. And we saw that the first goal came off of a deflection by the goalkeeper that she couldn't quite hold on to. So this is a big moment right now for Fox Chapel. You have to get this ball out of your box.
Emma Ferrari checks in for South Fayette.
Taking the corner, number 17, Mia Duramo.
So the goal scorer, Duramo, will send this one in for a corner. Low ball, and the official says, let's do it over.
Yeah, she'll be excited to get that one.
I was going to say Duramo probably glad of that. Her teammate actually, who was subbing out, had not left the field yet.
There's not a lot of space there for the run-up, Sean, which makes it tough for some of these players, which we just saw there twice.
Well, they need to move the river back a little bit.
Speaking of, Jack only needs 14 more balls into the river, Sean.
Yeah, he's a dummy. I don't know what to say about that. My colleague Jack Ridenauer, who had the first 2 games today, prophesized, what was he saying, 20 balls would go into the river?
Yeah, and as we told the crowd last game, the over-under that I had in my mind was like 4.5, and he just jumped up and yelled 20.
Fed forward, and it's loose. Still not in, and now cleared out. Sinton just could not get a shot off. She does earn her team a corner, but the Fox is very lucky. It is not 2-0.
Yeah, and this has become a trend right now that Fox Chapel is going to have to figure out, because twice now the goalkeeper has come out to make a save, and the deflection has gone back towards their own goal, and they're going to have to clean this up.
Sinton had an open net to look at, but she was so tightly marked she could not ultimately tuck it in. South Fayette maybe smelling blood right now.
Yeah.
Under 17 left in the first half, 1-0, but it has started to become pretty lopsided in favor of the team wearing white.
And Sean, the backup goalie for Fox Chapel, I think it was Leah Pizzella, started as the goalie last year in the playoffs and then ended up having surgery. But she's in 10th grade. The goalkeeper that we're seeing, Gianna Patterson, is the senior.
And she is headed to W&J to continue her college career. Patterson with a 0.53 goals against, 11 clean sheets for her.
Entering the match for Fox Chapel, number 9, Sophie Thorne.
Sophie Thorne checks in for the Foxes, a senior. Thorne's been able to provide some scoring off of the bench. Teremo has it knocked away from her. Foxes can do nothing more than just play it out. Spalla feeds it back to the keeper. And now Thompson moves it forward. Dan Flickinger's wearing a very nice sweater today, I noticed.
He said, "I'm not impressed." I am impressed. I'm just focused.
He was speechless at how nice the, not used to seeing Flick wearing.
I was going to wear the
like
same one. Lucky I didn't.
Grimsley plays it back. Now the Fox is possessing right now, but not getting much in terms of high danger opportunities.
Yeah, we always talk about possessing with a purpose. And right now, Fox Chapel's doing a really good job, as you said, possessing out of the back. But you have to start linking up with your target players.
Beineke's going to return at the next opportunity for South Fayette. Very quick breather for her. Patterson has it.
We'll see them build out of the back here with a quick distribution from the goalkeeper.
There's a little bump.
Yeah, big tackle there, and we'll have a free kick coming out for the Foxes.
So the numbers on the front of the jerseys for Fox Chapel, I would say kind of standard size, not particularly big, but their keeper Patterson has a massive 1 on her goalie jersey. That's probably the biggest number I have seen.
Yeah.
Must have paid extra for that.
Getting a custom kit.
Wilkinson with good possession. Distributes to Thorne. She directs traffic.
That was a good job pointing ahead to where she wanted the runner to make that angled run.
Ultimately, though, suffocating defense for the Lions. They give it right back as Urso plays takeaway. That has been a very famous name at Fox Chapel recently.
She's doing a great job of stepping up and winning the ball to stop those counters.
Mentioned the Fox Chapel boys claiming gold last night here at Highmark. South Fayette's boys did not make the postseason. They went 7-10-0 this year. as the aforementioned
Back in for South Fayette,
Beinecke.
35, Gabby Beinecke.
Now checks in. Out goes Emily Sitton, who had that golden opportunity a few moments ago. Under 13 left, opening half of play. DeRamo with the lone marker in favor of South Fayette. Little bicycle attempt. And now Thompson. Well, I guess Flick's ears were burning so much when we were complimenting him that he had to head to the restroom to try to cool them down. Could have just jumped in the river. That would have done the trick today.
He might be going down to move that goal cam that we have behind the net. It's my all-time favorite feature here for NFHS and Westmoreland Sportsnet. But that angle, as we see it, it's so cool to see.
Beinecke drawing 3 defenders. I would imagine throughout her youth career, she's used to seeing 2 or 3 different players trying to mark her at any given time, but rarely do you see that type of attention garnered by a high school freshman.
Yeah, it's impressive, and she's really good at noticing when the defenders are on her to pick her head up, and she plays it into space away from the numbers, which is really smart.
Binion throws in and kind of airmails that one. Beinecke doing battle. It's cleared out between her legs, meaning it stays with South Fayette. A little bit of a grab, and that one came up high on Urso. Thankfully, she's okay. Good step by Spalla.
It's a good job penetrating with the dribble there.
Binion. She's got some green in front of her. And she goes down trying to get that crossed between a pair of defenders. Taken away. Here's an opportunity. Stonewalled. Great defense by D. Pasquale, the all-section performer. Now the Foxes come on the counter with some speed. But that through ball not particularly close, as it's easy money for Thompson.
It's a nice punt out of the back.
Fox Chapel won 3-0 in the semis against Plum. They were up 2-0 at the half, tacked on a third goal in the second stanza. McKee, Grimsley, and Quackenbush all found the back of the net.
As we see a big tackle here, big collision.
There's a lot more drama for South Fayette as they edged Mars 1-0. It went to a shootout. They won that shootout 4-2. Spaller, Miller, DeRamo, and Beinecke all scoring in the PK. Those semifinals were held back-to-back at North Hills, which I'm wondering if it was North Hills High School. The North Hills football team plays at Martorelli. They were in action last night. As that's taken away, here's an opportunity and a goal! Beinecke finishes, and she makes it 2-0. The fantastic freshman strikes.
Sean, we knew we'd be calling her name a lot tonight as we see a good ball into space and a great ball sent over with the left foot. Defender unable to get a touch on it. You see the tap through. She picks her head up. She hits it near post. Great finish. 2-0 right now for South Fayette.
Goal number 27 for the freshman.
That's why you crash the net on the first goal, and that's why you continue your run as a striker on the second goal.
Assisted by number 19.
This is all South Fayette. Fox is trying to form an answer. Ferrari getting the assist. on the Beinecke marker. The 6th assist of the season for the junior, Emma Ferrari. Still 8+ minutes left in the first half, and South Fayette has struck twice. Remember, they won 2-1 in the first meeting this season. Fox Chapel has not allowed more than 3 goals in a game. That came against Peters Township. They actually lost back-to-back, Peters and then South Fayette, to wrap up the regular season. But again, those were, I don't want to say inconsequential, but not really all that significant in terms of their entire season outlook. They were tune-ups for the postseason, if you will.
Yeah, that's when you tend to rest your players and try to get them healthy for the postseason. But it also helps with chemistry when you can have those players playing in those games. And right now, we just see that South Fayette they're linking up their passes a little bit better, and they're playing more physical in terms of offensively running through the ball.
Turned over. That pass by Grimsley was easily read and intercepted by South Fayette. And the Lions want more. Throw in forthcoming for Binion.
For anybody that's picking up that crowd mic right now, there's tons of communication coming from the bench of South Fayette, telling their players when they need to check to the ball, when they need to check away, if somebody's coming in back to where they need to mark up, and it's really helping them out a lot, I think.
Nearing 6.5 left in the first stanza. South Fayette looking to go back-to-back in Class 3A. Nick Rosser, their 4th-year head coach, 4 years as an assistant before becoming the head man. He was also with the Trinity boys for a couple of years. Got a lot of former Lions on his staff. Also Sabrina Bryan, who played at Cannon McMillan.
It used to be a really, really nice soccer. Stayed like a little complex, but she was smart. She put Lions at the football stadium in the event they have to get booted out of there. But it's perfect. It's a permanent painted line.
Nice move by Miller. Now she'll peel back and they'll reset.
Yeah, it's a smart decision to drop that ball back, because now Fox Chapel has to press, and that starts to open up more space behind their front line in the center of the field.
Yeah, she has it all.
And that's the connecting through ball you're looking for right there.
DeRamo's pass does not connect, however.
I can teach her how to set up an iPad and get a remote signal from NFHS and do an event. And she has hardline internet up there. So
And now a goal kick.
especially right there off the parkway, it's a good spot.
Foxes will play this one short. That goes to the far side. 5 minutes left in the first half of play. Couple of goals for the Lions. DeRamo and Beinecke.
Sean, you said Beinecke had the assist on the first one as well, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So you got to think, if she's a freshman and she's this impactful already, she's really not going to have a lot of pressure for the next few years, because moments like this, it doesn't get more intense. So looking forward to a really good career from her.
Well, she is trying to start her career at the top floor with a championship here today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, setting the bar high, and I'm sure with the youth they have, they'll try to be back every year.
There's a whistle that goes against the Lions. Well, if you're Fox Chapel and you're Carlo Prati, you would love to see a goal here in the first half to make it much more manageable.
Yeah.
Although at this point, I haven't really seen anything that leads me to believe that the Foxes have an answer for South Fayette.
No, especially with Caitlin Thompson, the way she comes out and just snags the ball every single time and comes off her line very aggressively. But on these set pieces, that they're not really getting anything into congested areas, and it's going directly to a very skilled goalkeeper.
Both of these teams had thrillers in the championship last year. Overtime win for Fox Chapel against top-seeded North Allegheny, and a double OT win by South Fayette against third-seeded Moon in their respective brackets. South Fayette calls upon McLaughlin to re-enter. This one goes high in the air. Headed forward by D. Pasquale. There's a push. And that was a pretty obvious foul there on Wilkinson.
So there's 2.5 left, Sean. I'm interested to see if South Fayette's going to go ahead and just serve one in, or if they'll try to just keep possession here. But it looks like she's kind of giving a run up to serve one in.
I know it's a little premature to say this, but it does feel like if South Fayette gets a third goal, this game, for all intents and purposes, might be decided.
It's going to be very hard to get one, let alone 2 or 3, against this goalkeeper in this back line, the way they're organizing. But Carlo's a very good coach, and I know there's going to be a lot of adjustments that they'll make at halftime.
That was headed wide, but Gianna Patterson will gobble it up. And the future president, not of the United States, although maybe that's in her future as well, the president referring to Washington and Jefferson College.
Sean, do you know who the 7th president was?
I sure as heck do. Old Andy Jackson. Old Hickory, as we call him.
Inside joke there for anybody watching at home, as Sean asked me that last week. And
although
I
it
failed
is
miserably.
true, that is accurate.
I failed miserably.
That's also true.
We see a good touch into space here, and a really physical tackle again coming out.
Fox is sent it forward. They haven't really tested Thompson a ton so far in this one as we near the final minute of the opening half. Maybe this will be the chance for Fox Chapel. Probably would like to see some urgency here if you're Carlo Prati.
This is one of those spots where you don't want this ball going right on goal because, again, Thompson's so good, but you want this ball dropping into the area where everyone's at so somebody can get a header onto it.
I think it was headed by the Foxes, but not on. No, they're actually going to say it was off for South Fayette.
I saw the same thing that you did, Sean. I thought that this ball was headed out by Fox Chapel, but they're pointing for the corner.
And still 30-plus seconds, so they'll have enough time to generate something here. That one goes through the box and now comes out the other side. Down to 25 seconds. Served in. Headed a couple of times. How about a third? Some of the best opportunities we've seen from the Foxes in the first half, but it won't yield anything. South Fayette, with a couple of dynamite goals, takes a 2-0 lead into the half. Lions looking to go back-to-back. Fox Chapel looking to win a second time in as many years in 2 different classes. It is 2-0 South Fayette over Fox Chapel. We'll take a break and continue right here on the NFHS Network. At Highmark Stadium, the beautiful venue, the home of the Riverhounds in Station Square.
Take a look at that highlight there, Sean. We see the ball get slotted across for South Fayette. Goalkeeper unable to hold on to it, and we just see that they crash the net as they've done so many times this season. And then the second one, we see the ball in. Great little flick with the left foot into space. The defender gets a little bit of a clearance, but it's blocked. Picks her head up. Goalkeeper comes out and just tucks it right in. 2-0 South Fayette starting the second half.
Foxes feed this one into the box. And it is kept in by Fox Chapel, but good job defensively by the Lions to prevent anything more than that. Down the far wing. And That one ultimately crossed the goal line. Wilkinson was trying to tightrope it.
Yeah, she was trying to beat that last defender and try to get that cross in.
What's the call here? I thought initially they called out of bounds on Fox Chapel.
Yeah, and I think South Fayette thought that as well. It looks like there's going to be a foul that they're calling here, Sean. Because South Fayette had their players pushing up, and then you heard their bench yelling, get back, get back. So
this is basically like a corner, but a little bit closer in.
Yeah, a little bit closer. They have a chance here that if she can chip this wall just far enough that the goalie can't come out, they have a really good opportunity to put one in, but you don't want to hit it right at the goalie from this angle.
It's loose. And the Foxes can't get the shot in. They get a corner. Although now the official seemingly changing his mind. Paige Solomon got a shot there, and it looked like it deflected off of one of the Lions.
Yeah, it looked like Quinn Miller, I think, gets a foot on this ball. I think it looks like Miller right there, 33, kind of kicks out. So they did correct this call, so we'll see a corner kick now, Sean.
Yeah, the initial indication by the officials was goal kick, but pretty clearly that was a corner. Lawson will send this in. Low ball, and it's chipped wide of the frame by Taylor Wilkinson.
So that's two good opportunities now that the Foxes have had just in the first couple minutes here. But we see the cross get served in. Ball comes back to the 6. She just can't put it on frame, a little bit wide. But the Foxes are doing a much better job of pressuring the goal. Here's the Gateway Clippers, Sean.
Yes, it is.
Do you know what year it was founded?
The Gateway Clipper?
Yes.
Did you look this up at one point?
I actually don't have the answer. I just wanted to hit you with an impossible question like you give me all the time. If you would have known, I would have just took the headset off and walked out.
No. I thought you actually knew the answer.
I don't know any answers.
Maybe you were bored with Jack putting you to sleep, so you had to entertain yourself by looking up something. Sent back for Fox Chapel. Taylor Wilkinson couldn't make it work, and then her teammate from distance misses the frame.
We see a shot from distance here. One-timer, just leaning back a little bit too much, and there's obviously a lot of emotions and adrenaline. Some of these players just put a little bit too much on it.
I believe Terry Wargenis is the guy in charge of the Gateway Clipper, right?
He was always on the commercials,
yeah.
At least, yeah.
I'm going to guess early 70s? How's that sound?
That sounds fair. We'll have to look it up. But I know Johnny Krug, who's the 3A Player of the Year, his dad was one of the captains.
1958. I'm assuming that maybe the boats have gotten a little nicer between now and then. Free kick here at midfield.
I just saw it. It was a good call.
And headed back to the midfield.
So one of the issues right now that Fox Chapel has, Sean, they're winning the initial header, but they're flicking it on to nobody. So the strikers are winning it. They need somebody that can sit low and flick it on to them.
Good job of Spalla stepping up. These teams have been two juggernauts all season long. There's a reason why they're the 1 and 2 seeds in this bracket. Some jousting here. Foxes throw it in.
We'll take another look at the highlight, just how physical this game is, and players from both teams just giving their all right now.
Chris Smith and Ricky Pitzer manning the camera. Doing a fine job. A little bit chillier today than it was when the championship started on Thursday, when it was like 70 degrees out. That was wild how warm it was, even after the nightcap concluded at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. I'm sure the players loved it.
We didn't really, I don't think, saw many cramps. Saw a lot of bleeding.
Yeah, we really haven't seen a lot of players cramping up, and I'm sure that's a testament to better fitness these days.
That shot tipped, and it will be a corner.
It's a really good save there through traffic as we see the strike from distance come.
Thompson tested really for one of the first times she's had to come up with the save.
Kick. Foxes.
Yeah, that's a great little touch there by Lindsay Wayne. Ball goes right on frame, and really good save.
Fox Chapel has looked more potent here. Second corner of the half for the Foxes, and we're just 6 minutes plus in. And that one is pushed out by Thompson. Keeper getting her hands on it. Another foul on South Fayette.
Yeah, they might do a quick set piece here. That's a really good job of South Fayette getting in the wall before she can hit it.
Low shot, never made it through for Klassen. Now Patterson. She plays it out to Urso. Good effort by Urso to keep possession with the Foxes.
Yeah, especially with the attacker right on her back there.
Taken away. DeRamo, she's got one goal already, but that didn't work.
It was a good idea there, and I think it was Emily Sinton just put her hand up saying, hey, good idea. I'll make that run next time.
Haven't called Emily McKee's name much recently. Early in the game, they got her involved a couple times, but
Yep.
33 goals, all WPIAL performer, a finalist for the Mo Rosensteel Player of the Year, and yet the sophomore has been
Back in for
held in
South
check so
Fayette,
far.
number 19, Emma Ferrari.
Almost 50 minutes gone.
We've seen a lot of that this week, Sean. We've seen the star players, some of the all-state guys and girls haven't really been as impactful because they're being double and triple teamed. We saw Ryan Mesner having some issues in his championship game because they had so many players marking him. But you always see these other players stepping up in these big moments, and they usually make for the best storylines.
Well, to your point, not only are they being double or triple teamed, that probably happens all season, but they're being double and triple teamed by elite players on the back end.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
probably the difference than usual for them.
Absolutely. Plus, the week leading into these games, I think a lot of these teams are watching film, and they know every little tendency that you have, especially as an attacker, and which way they want to force you. Nice move there.
Spala showing off her fancy footwork. Little bump, and it should be a South Fayette throw, and it will be. Still under natural light, and with everything being on schedule, there's good likelihood that we won't need the lights until the final game of the night.
Here come the Foxes.
That shot gobbled up. It was a little short hop on Thompson, but she was able to scoop it. Fox Chapel has looked like a different team so far.
Yeah, they've definitely made adjustments that they're countering with more numbers, but we see the shot from outside the box. And they're very lucky, too, because it looked like Emily McKee was crashing backdoor on that.
Fox Chapel dominating the possession so far in the second half, but it remains 2-0.
Looks like Maddie Grimsley getting ready to come in for the Foxes, Sean.
She's an all-section performer, team leader in assists, so she'll only help the offense, you figure. As the Lions quickly toss it in.
To beat a South Fayette team that's so strong in the middle of the field as we see them winning header after header, you're going to have to start putting speed outside and try to beat them down line and then play that ball back in the center with more space.
And a foul.
I might have a card here, Sean.
Yes. I think it's going to be issued on Harper Zapp.
He's calling her back.
She's not paying attention right now. And she's actually a little hobbled.
He gives her a warning. Says enough of that, but
you can see she maybe got the worst of that.
Yeah, and usually, as we see her kind of going with the arms up there, but usually when the referees stop the clock like that, that card almost always comes out after.
And she's actually going to check out now.
Yeah, she's hurting. So now, if you're the Foxes, we've talked about this before, Sean, you don't want to put this ball right on frame with the talented goalkeeper. You want to serve it a little bit short and try to get a header on there.
Glass does put it on, and it lands on the top of the net. The pink net, by the way.
We see the strike here. She leans back right over the wall. Onto the pink net.
Got a handful of fans watching above on that balcony. Maybe about a dozen or so total. Have you ever been up there before?
I have. I'm lucky enough to coach with the Riverhounds for their youth academy, and for some of the games we've gotten to go up there in the past. It's a nice view, but then again, everything here is.
I want to watch a game someday from that very small seating area across the way.
Right next to the river?
Yes.
I was looking at that also. Yeah, that would probably be a really cool seat on a packed night.
Time Quinn Miller lost her footing. Does keep it in play. Good step by Patel, the future Penn State Baron Lion. And as that will roll out, Penn State Baron has built a powerhouse program in the AMCC. A bevy of championships for them in recent years.
Carla Prati having a discussion there with Alyssa Quackenbush. Possibly a little formation change, but trying to get her more involved and making sure that she gets that ball at her feet.
Well, more than a dozen minutes have ticked off of the second half clock, and it is still 2-0 South Fayette. DeRamo and Beinecke with the first half markers. Ball is loose, and it is pushed in. Ferrari gets the goal. It is 3-0 South Fayette.
Sean, we'll take another look here as the ball gets served in. We see another ball bouncing around. The defender's unable to clear it, but just like every other goal, it's South Fayette crashing the net and just getting their foot on it and putting it back into the net there for the third goal.
A massive one for Ferrari. She gets her 9th of the year. That goes with an assist that she added on a first half tally.
Here's a card, Sean. So number 13 for South Fayette receives the card there. Mia Patel.
There's a yellow card against South Fayette.
So,
number 13, Mia Patel.
Did she come out?
She did. Yeah, she just went down the line there. Our camera caught her coming out there. But so she'll be able to come back in at 22:03. But now if you're Fox Chapel, you have an opportunity.
They get Sinton in.
We're going to get that. Kansas. So once Reagan to the 6. Their organization. Ferrari outside mid. Creates a reporting system.
That one bends wide of the net. You probably get to see the Foxes really just start to try to put everything on frame at this point, I would imagine.
Yeah, so you hear Nick Rosser making some adjustments there with the formation, but we've seen a lot of goals in the last few days, Sean, that have come once a player gets carded and then a team has to make substitutions and move the formation around. And we'll see if the Foxes can take advantage of that.
Sliding effort by Di Pasquale, but she wiped out, could not keep it in. Highmark Stadium seats about 5,000. They ideally would like to expand to about 14,000, but that's going to take some work.
It is, but the way this program keeps growing and the talent that they have, I think there's some bigger aspirations there, and they have a really faithful fan base too.
This ball comes in, but ultimately Thompson gets to it before McKee was able to.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call an offsides there and have it, but we see the ball get slotted through. It's a good touch and turn. She tries to slot it once more and just offsides there.
Now Thompson will settle it down. If they add 9,000 seats, the road behind the stadium, I believe, will go. That will be taken out.
Yeah.
And probably one of the parking lots will disappear. I'm guessing the one to our right would be a spot that they would maybe extend back.
I think you're right, because the one thing that I think that they'll never do is get rid of that view of the river. So there's not really a lot of other places for them to add on to.
More strong defensive work by the Lions as we are under 25 minutes left in regulation. It is now 3-0.
Sean, you said 14,000 is what they're shooting for.
I believe that's the goal, and the main reason is they want to get an MLS team, I think. Here.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You would have to get to a certain threshold to be feasible for them.
That 14,000 number was the attendance of the Penguin game the other night, which usually holds 18, so it's doable.
Are you saying that the MLS team should just play PPG Paints? Is that?
No, I think that somebody needs to start playing at PPG Paints.
And there's a play in the box as McKee's slow to get up, but there was no foul whistled. Foxes still have it there as that one's chipped high off of the foot of Maddie Grimsley.
Yeah, we see the ball come out here after the clearance. Looked like a possible little trip there, but a lot of these shots from Fox Chapel, they're leaning back and they're bouncing and they're going over the net, and they haven't really been able to kind of get their chest and their knee over the ball and drive one down low.
Intercepted. Grimsley plays takeaway, but good recovery by South Fayette almost immediately after that mistake. Clock continues to tick. Under 23 minutes now remain. So is this the juncture now up by 3 if you're South Fayette that you really kind of tighten the screws? You're not worried about getting a fourth goal as much as you are just making sure you have enough players back?
Yeah, I think usually that's when you start to see some of the star players being dropped back, but their defense is so good that you really don't have to make any adjustments. You might be able to put 2, maybe 1 extra player in front of their back line and just try to keep pinning everything out and just sending a long ball if you need to. But Fox Chapel has a very big mountain to climb right now.
The Foxes, as we mentioned, lost their only 2 games back-to-back to wrap up the regular season at Peters, at South Fayette. They had a tie mixed in as well against Seneca Valley, which is a 4A powerhouse. McKee, 3 white jerseys around her, and it doesn't deter her, but ultimately the ball's played out.
And after she beat the first 2 defenders, Sean, she really switched it into another gear. And if she can keep that up for the next 20 minutes, don't put it past her to put 1 or 2 in the back of the net.
This cross played out. Turning shot, no. South Fayette just not letting much get through.
They're not, and all the bounces are going towards South Fayette players. Nothing's really going towards the Fox Chapel players
Returning
for a lucky
Fayette,
bounce
number
to just kind of tap one in.
13, Mia Patel.
So we have seen a change at the college level where a team leading in the second half cannot use substitutions to milk the clock once you get under 15 minutes. That's not come to the high school level. So how much of a strategy will that be for South Fayette, and how much, if you're Fox Chapel, do you maybe try to limit substitutions knowing that every time you do, more time runs off?
Yeah, it depends, because you also don't want to take any of your best players off the field, right? So you want to get that clock to tick down, but you also want to keep your best players on the field. Now, for Fox Chapel, you want to keep your best players on the field also, but you need some players with speed out there, as we see a really good combination play just outside of the box.
One of the Lions goes down, but Fox Chapel's Grimsley couldn't pull the trigger. There's a call against South Fayette, to the dismay of a lot of people wearing green.
Yeah, we take a look here at the foul, and this is a chance for Fox Chapel. We have 20 minutes left. You know that you have to get at least 3 to tie. Have to find a way to get on the end of this one. Got to crash the net.
Kaylee Wilkinson will send it in. It's headed, save! What
Great
a spectacular grab by Thompson. She knocks it out, so it will yield a corner, but the full extension with her arm to get a piece.
Yeah, and that's the set piece that you want to see, right? You serve it right in behind that back line. You get the header, and again, they're not getting any lucky bounces, or South Fayette. Everything is either being saved or knocked out. They're not getting anything they can tap in. Short corner here.
A couple of Foxes actually jockeying with each other for position there. Well, sometimes you get that first goal, all of a sudden the momentum completely shifts, but the first one has proven elusive for the Foxes today.
Yeah, we see the dam break every now and then when you get the first one, but they're going to have a set piece here, and a right-footed shooter could really kind of bend this in, but we'll take a look at the foul. It's a good job trying to shield off the defender, and then the foul after the play.
I don't think there's any nearby to us, but hopefully no dams break today with us being this close to the river.
Agreed. So, Sean, we know that Caitlin Thompson's very, very good in goal. This is another one where you don't want to serve this right where she's at, and if you do, you have to have a player in front of her shielding and trying to screen that ball to flick it on.
And it goes wide on the header by McKee. Substitution for Fox Chapel is Sophie Thorne.
We see that ball get served again from our awesome goal camera.
And there's some confusion as far as who Thorne is taking out, so that's going to run more time off.
Yeah. And now last night in the 4A championship game, Sean, we saw that Garrett Chandler wasn't able to sub in. The referees weren't hearing him. And then Gage Ianolfi wasn't able to get his player to come off the field no matter how hard he was screaming, and didn't get the sub back in for the last few minutes.
Well, if you're screaming, hopefully one of the refs should be hearing you, you would think.
Yeah, especially with the referees wearing headsets. You know, they can kind of communicate across the field.
Am I correct in thinking, maybe I'm misremembering this, I thought that they had like a board that said the player subbing in and the player that they were replacing?
In pros they do. They'll hold up that board that lights up with the numbers on it.
So the River Rounds, for instance, would have something like that at their games.
Yep, they'll have that. At the high school level, I haven't seen that, but it makes it easy to see who's going in and who's going out.
That one actually took a little bit of a high bounce, but Thompson able to corral it. She's 5'8", which is pretty decent height. She's not a towering figure in goal.
And Sean, that board that you had mentioned, that's the same board that the linesman holds up at the end of the game that shows stoppage time.
Yep.
But obviously in high school with the scoreboards, we don't have that, as they stop the clock whenever there's any injury or any delay of game.
Although we did see a lot of stoppages of the clock during play for injuries or for blood.
Yeah.
So you're not adding the time back on, but you are, in theory, kind of doing the same by stopping the clock in the moment. Lions up 3-0, and they're looking for number 4 here.
They're getting a PK, Sean.
Yes, taken down is DeRamo in the box, and that means a penalty kick.
Yeah, she looks up. She has 3 defenders in front of her. She keeps her run going. And as the defender reaches out to try to get that contact with the ball, it catches her leg, and she gets the call. We have a PK. Could go up 4-0 right now.
DeRamo's got one already.
Penalty kick.
Trying to score her second of the match and put the icing on what looks like it could be a championship cake. She scores. DeRamo gets her second. It is 4-0.
As you see her take the PK here, Sean, she steps right up. She feints to the right. The goalie starts moving to the left, and she finishes to the goalie's right, her left. Really good composure there to tuck one in, and 4-0.
On the PK, her second goal of the match, number 17.
And there's still 16 plus minutes to play, but 4-0 is pretty stunning at this point.
Although the scoreboard, Sean, at the stadium still showing 3-0 right now.
I'm pretty confident that it's 4.
It definitely is. You're right.
Sent through the midfield. They got it squared away now.
There we go. With the guidance of Dan Flickinger.
Brandon Rossi doing public address for all 8 games. He, Dan Flickinger, and Mike Powers are the Iron Men for this 3-day extravaganza.
I enjoy it, Sean. It's been fun, and the memories from last year and this year, nothing better than it, my friend. I appreciate being here with you guys.
Under 15 now remains. Hard to believe it has been this lopsided. And here's a incredible stat. South Fayette has 4 goals. The Lions have 4 shots on goal compared to 5 for Fox Chapel.
Yeah, they finished every chance they've had, and they keep crashing the net. And that's the biggest differential right now in terms of these 2 teams and their performance.
Fox Chapel, the number 1 seed. They won in Class 4A last year. The Lions, the number 2 seed, looking to go back-to-back in Class 3A. Both these teams were underdogs last season. They have been the big dogs this year.
Work together, good passing!
And
Sean, this crowd is quiet.
I was going to say the Fox Chapel fans have effectively been taken out of this one. And
Yeah.
really for South Fayette, you've done enough cheering. Now you kind of just wait in anticipation for 000s, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think once that announcer says 1 minute left, you're going to start hearing a lot of people going nuts here.
As that deflects out, so another corner for Fox Chapel, 5th of the game for Fox.
We take a look, another run.
Substitutions.
With the cross there and just a deflection out.
Now in the match, number 7, Antonia Linswine. And number 11, Lily Chiappetta.
Freshman Lily Chiappetta enters for the first time, another 9th grader for the Lions. That header's blocked. Well, Thompson's made some good saves, but the group in front of her has been sterling at times as well.
Yeah, very strong on the ball, very physical, and they're blocking a lot. And Thompson communicates every single time she comes out for balls. We see that corner get sent in. We see that she goes out, takes a step back, and then her defense just clears it out for her.
Both these teams headed to the state tournament as well. We mentioned a year ago Fox Chapel won a game in the States. South Fayette was one and done. And, you know, once you, at this point, you've already had a great season. But I would say for the team that wins the WPIAL championship, it almost feels like anything after is kind of a bonus.
It is, and you really enjoy the bus rides. I know last year with Norwin, even losing the state semifinal, as soon as we got back on the bus, it was karaoke. It was fun. Towards the end of the year,
did you sing?
I did not. I was just sitting there enjoying it and vibing out. But I think that players start getting really beat up and tired towards the end of the year, and once you win that big championship, and like you said the other day, Sean, I think the venue is one of the reasons why that WPIAL championship seems more to most teams than the state championship.
Well, conversely, for Fox Chapel, assuming that they come up short here, and if they don't, we've got a pretty incredible development. But
Yeah.
if they lose this one, I think the state's become much more meaningful for them, because they then are looking for a little bit of redemption and saying, okay, well, it wasn't our day down at Highmark, but let's prove how good of a team we are. And realistically, there's a very good chance these teams could meet again in the state tournament.
Yeah, and even the fact that Mars is still in the tournament, I know that they're a team that both of these teams can't look past, but we've seen it countless times in the past, right, Sean, where a team will lose the WPIAL championship and then go on to win states. We talk about, Penn Trafford and Norwin and some of those matchups where that occurred, being the number one ranked team in the country and losing WPIALs, but then you go win states after that.
This one goes high and again lands on the top of the net. Kaylee Wilkinson put that one just a little too tall. Good look at it there. Under 11 minutes left. Do you have a go-to karaoke song, by the way?
A go-to karaoke song?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Garth Brooks' Much Too Young. It's one of my all-time favorites.
There's a foul.
Do you have one?
Back in my day, are you familiar with Evanescence and Bring Me to Life?
Yeah, I am.
I used to sing both the male and female vocals in that, which was something.
For anybody at home that can't see, I'm just staring at Sean in awe right now at this development.
It wasn't good, I assure you of that.
What would it cost to get you to do it live?
I don't.
Like a real number. Because I know I'm winning at least 1,000.
You would
Jack
have.
on
Well,
15
the
balls
problem
being
is
over
you
the-
would have to pay all of the listeners who would want their money back after.
So when you do the girls version, like the girls part, do you go high pitch on that?
I
or-
try. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I have a terrible voice, so I mean.
What are you doing after this?
Hopefully not singing to you.
We got to get you to a karaoke bar.
There's a collision. And a foul goes against the Foxes. A little frustration setting in now for the number one seed, I would say.
Yeah, we see the push after the play, and one of the Foxes takes a very hard hit there in the aftermath.
Chris Smith, our great cameraman, seems like a guy who would sing a little bit if he gets in the right mood.
He just strikes me as the type of guy that sings a lot of Creed.
Creed.
Yeah.
See, now I don't see that from him. But
You don't see that?
No, I don't. Here's a run for the Foxes.
What do you think Chris sings? Handball there.
I could see some, I don't know, like 70s rock maybe?
I could see it.
Flick says no. I don't know. Do you think he sings Taylor Swift? Is that what you're... You think that's the answer? I think we have a blood stoppage here. And there's some frantic work being done. Warchol literally sprinted full speed, has ripped her shirt off, and is now getting treated for blood. I love the urgency. Oh, there go the shorts, too. She is doing everything she can to get back on the field as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think she wants to be out there, Sean, for the.
Well, hopefully she's going to redress before she goes back out there. They are wiping her leg down now. The fact that you're showing that much urgency up 4-0, I think that's a great sign for this program, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the cut was maybe on her finger.
Oh, yeah. Yep. got the finger taped up. Yeah, if this was, well, here's another chance for the Lions. That pinball's around in the box, and finally it is gathered by Patterson. If this is me, I've worked hard for 70-plus minutes. I'm saying, all right, I've done my job. I'm not gonna sprint over to get the blood stopped. I'll kind of take my time.
Yeah,
enjoy this little stroll.
I can't do anything. I'm bleeding.
I think
she's also right in front of her crowd, Mike, which makes this all the more insightful.
and she's yelling, "I can't do anything. I'm bleeding." To your point, Sean, I mean, it's almost like it's a 0-0 game with 7 minutes left. But I think she wants to be out there on the field with her teammates when this clock hits 0.
I think. Did they give her all new attire? They've given her a spare jersey, and
is that her number?
No, it's a different number that they had a leftover jersey.
Yeah, number 12 is not. And
now there's an injury on the other side. All right, well, they're examining her jersey, and looks like she is good to go.
Yeah,
and
Riley Binion does not want to come off either. These players are getting angry. They want to stay on there. But you see the run onto the field in the jersey that
it was like a pit crew effort there.
It really was.
It was Warchall, right? Is that what I said? I have such a bad short-term memory.
I do too. I'm trying to see the number jersey that they're holding up down there that still has the blood on it, but I can't see the number.
Yeah, I thought it was her. And there's a collision. This has all of a sudden become a physical clash between these teams in the final 7 minutes. And it's going to be a free kick here, set piece opportunity.
Very big hit there from the replay. But
Chris Lackner brought me a pretzel. Everyone is so accommodating here. I love this.
He'll sing Evanescence for that pretzel.
I would probably do that. Not through the headset, though. Looks as though it's going to be Solomon to take this. Uh-oh, here comes. Are they getting Warchall off again?
Pick someone up!
Is she bleeding once more?
Alright, Jill, it's alright. Holy shit. Know who you have! Let's go!
They're still trying to sort this all out. Yeah, they got the jersey, and she's going to go back in her jersey and her shorts. They're going to change her again, it appears.
Card against Fayette, number 3, make that number 12.
She's very unhappy.
Wait, she got carded.
And there's a guy in a kayak
Number 21, Riley Binion.
with the Forrest Gump.
There's a lot going on right now. I would not be out on a kayak, I would tell you that much. Sent in and secured by Thompson. So Warchall had blood, had to come out because the blood got on her uniform, had to take off her shirt and shorts as there's another foul. My goodness, what is happening here? Then she changed into a new jersey number, new shorts.
Another card too, Sean.
And for both these teams, there's more soccer after today. You have to be very careful with these cards. We're going to see a Franklin Regional team later that's going to be without one of their best players who received a card in the quarterfinals, a red card that is, and has to miss tonight in addition to missing the semis. That went on Beinecke, so they have to be careful with some key players here.
Yeah, if you get the 2-game suspension, that essentially could be your entire season if you lose in that first round.
They are still working away at Warchall's original jersey.
I just don't really understand the.
At this point, might as well just let her keep number 12 on, right?
That's what I'm thinking, but they're cleaning it off.
Well, if she got a card, she's going to be out for a couple more minutes anyway.
But yeah, I don't know, Sean. Ever since you refused to sing karaoke, a lot of weird stuff's been going on. We got guys in kayaks, jersey swaps. I don't know anymore. I've done 7 games. I just don't know anymore.
Well, unfortunately for Fox Chapel, they unfortunately probably not enjoying all of these bizarre sequences because they're on the wrong end of a 4-0 game.
Yeah, crowd thought that was a handball there before the cross in.
Tell you one thing, if I ever get any blood on clothing, I'm going to take it to the South Fayette crew. And I don't know if that's maybe one of the athletic trainers.
I think it is.
Sarah Papa Pietro, perhaps, is working hard to get all that blood off. Now she's on the shorts. The jersey has been taken care of, so now it's the shorts. I'm guessing teams typically bring an extra jersey, extra pair of shorts for those reasons.
Unless you're in the state semifinals and the other team decides to not show up in the right jersey and they put on green pennies, which is still a hurtful topic from last year.
Sent in for the Foxes.
Good defense again here by South Fayette, just stepping through and winning the ball.
Yeah, regardless of all these bizarre happenings lately, South Fayette has continued to be sterling defensively, trying to get a chance here, although that was an offside as the clock continues to run.
It's a quick start from Fox Chapel. They're trying everything they can to just get anything to go in, and this South Fayette team just will not break.
Now it looks as though the Lions will be headed to back-to-back championships in Class 3A.
That ball is still in. That's a pretty good battle.
They won their first ever title a year ago, and they loved it so much they wanted to do it again here today. Foxes will not go back-to-back, although it would have spanned 2 different classifications. That deflects out, and I think it's just going to be a throw-in and not a corner.
Yep.
As the Foxes' Sophie Thorne returns.
Sophie Thorne.
This Lindsworn comes back out.
Rory, help out! Help out!
There will be a ceremony for both the runner-up and the champion to follow, and then it looks like we're going to have a real chance to start all 4 games exactly on schedule. I don't know that happens much, if ever. For football, it's pretty rare, but for soccer in particular, it seems as though if a game goes extra time at all, it's going to put you behind schedule.
Right.
Not just the the full entirety of double overtimes and then a shootout, but even if you get into that first OT, that's usually enough to push everything back a little bit. So for 3 games to start on time, and almost certainly the 4th will follow suit, that is a accomplishment in itself. They did leave an extra 15 minutes today between games, which helps as well. They had 2 hours between games, 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Thursday and Friday, and here today it's 2 hours and 15 minutes between games. Actually could have started this one early, but they did not want to. They wanted to keep it right at that designated 3:30 first kick. By the way, we've mentioned Dan Flickinger. He's really done almost nothing this game. It's been Dave Oliverio who has done all the heavy lifting.
It's a great job by Dave.
Less than 2 minutes left. Foxes keep trying to get that first one. Now they realize the outcome's decided, but they're not going to go down without a good fight. McKee stonewalled. I guess who's about to come back in?
Guessing they got the jersey cleaned, huh?
Yeah, well, she's still wearing the alternate jersey, though, which is the confusing part. They work so hard, they get the blood off it. She's still going to wear the number 12. That being Jilly Warchel.
There's a good chance there for another through ball for a breakaway for Emily Sinton also.
She's always going to remember this day.
Oh, yeah.
1 minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
The day that she had to take off her jersey and shorts down at Highmark Stadium in the middle of the game.
Yeah, and she'll have a picture of her holding up a trophy with a different uniform on.
Well, maybe they'll swap it out before then.
Yeah, maybe.
They got the number 3 all ready to go. And for the post-game picture, you could have some blood on it then. That's not during play, so that actually would be a kind of cool little token if you had some blood on it, right?
Although there's none left after the great job that trainer did. And right now, South Fayette just continues to get the ball out, and Fox Chapel just 20 seconds left. They're still fighting.
Well, the Lions, I guess, were out for blood today. They got an early lead, and they have not looked back. 2 goals in the first half, 2 more in the second half, as we are ticking down. South Fayette with maybe the best game that they have played this year, as this is headed out, and that will do it. 4-0, the Lions go back-to-back. They knock off Fox Chapel to win the 3A championship. Does not get much more impressive than that for South Fayette. Now 19-3-0. They win their second ever title and the second in as many years. And to do so, they had to knock off a team that won the 4A title last year. The Foxes are now 18-3-1. Both teams move on, but this afternoon certainly belongs to the Lions, Mike.
Yeah, it's a Lions team that I think could make a very deep run. They have a really good goalkeeper. They have an awesome defense. They're very physical, and they have a freshman in Gabby Beinecke that continues to produce game in and game out. So if you're Fox Chapel, head up. It was a really good season. They're going to make adjustments and get ready for the state tournament. And yeah, both these teams have a really bright future ahead of them, Sean.
Final thoughts before we wrap this one up and head to the final championship?
No, I'm looking forward to doing this final 8th game out of 8 games, and once again, just really glad to be a part of it and all these memories for all these teams.
South Fayette wins this one 4-0 as Mia DeRamo has a couple of goals. Gabby Beinecke and Emma Ferrari have the other ones. A 4-0 win, South Fayette over Fox Chapel to win the Class 3A Girls Soccer Championship at Highmark Stadium. Want to thank both head coaches for Fox Chapel, Carlo Parati and Nick Rosser for South Fayette, and our great crew, producers Dan Flickinger and Dave Oliverio, cameraman Chris Smith and Ricky Pitzer. For Mike Powers, my colleague, Sean Myers saying final score 4-0 South Fayette over Fox Chapel. You saw it here all on the NFHS Network.